Hello, it's Ron back from Ron's YouTube channel. And usually we cover like drones and GoPros and things like that, RC cars, Insta360s, and so on. But today's going to be a little bit different of a show. Today's going to be a computer show. And I know you're saying, well, Ron, you don't usually cover computers, things, and so on. But why this relates to the kind of work I usually do with drones and cameras and so on is I had a 2000, I'll get into it later. I have an older computer, and it wasn't able to keep up with some of the things I need to do as far as video editing. So by the holiday season, there's some deals out there. So a couple weeks ago, Apple had reduced some of their laptops down, $100, $200, and they had a generous trade-in program. So I got the new MacBook Pro, the one with that M1 chip, the new super fast processor that Apple came out with just recently, a month or two ago. So anyhow, we're going to do kind of a unboxing, a setup, and kind of discussion on why you would need something like this. So roll that intro. Okay, so I'm here with, again, this is the new MacBook Pro. This is the 14-inch model. It also comes in a 16-inch model. And, this is the sealed box here. The picture of the computer on the front here. On the back, it, gives some of the specs here. Now, this is the... this has the 14-inch MacBook Pro. It has 16 gigabytes of unified memory and a 512 gigabyte SSD drive in there for storage. So that's kind of the specs here. This is this is just the base model here. This is you can upgrade memories and hard drive hard drive space and I want to say SSD size. You can upgrade all that if you want to. And this is this is what they call the M1 Pro, but they also have an MX Pro, which is even faster, and of course at a higher price. But I think this is going to suit my needs. And I've always found that when you buy the Apple stuff, like all the values built into the base models. Once you go up to the higher models, you customize them, the price greatly increases, and there's not much value in it anymore. You've just max it out and spend as much as you possibly can. But I think there's some value in buying these base models. I did the same thing with the iPad Pro. So why did I choose the upgrade? What I was using was the late 2017 MacBook Pro, and it was kind of a base model. It had 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabyte SSD drive. I think it was an Intel processor. This, of course, is running on, as I mentioned before, the Apple Silicon. Now they make their own chips or design their own chips, and it's the M1 Pro. But I was using an Intel, like an i5, and the computer. I mean, it was still in great shape, worked fine. If all you were going to do was do email, web browsing, it would have been, could have used it for another 5 years probably at least. But what I do, I edit a lot of video. And now the old MacBook Pro, it was still okay at doing 4K 30 and under. It handled it without a lot of rendering. Not rendering. Not a lot of proxy files. You could just kind of do it straight up. But anytime you went higher than that, like if you went to 4K 60, it struggled with frames. You went 5K video, even 30 frames per second, you struggled. And there's so many devices out here nowadays. This just came out recently. This is the new DJI Mavic 3. It's got a 4/3 camera sensor on it. It shoots like 5.1K video. So again, the old MacBook Pro struggled to edit that 5K video without doing a lot of proxy files, and so anyhow, it just slowed the workflow down. And then even have this is the recently released GoPro Hero 10. And the same thing, it also does 5K video and 4K 60. I think this may even do 5K 60. But anyhow, all those higher frame rates and resolution made the old MacBook Pro struggle a little bit. So that brings us back to this. So I mean, I mostly use Final Cut Pro. I'm kind of baked into the Apple ecosystem, so I'm not using Premiere. I'm using Final Cut Pro. I've already seen a lot of videos, reviews, and people talking about how much of a speed increase they see over this, even over the latest generation of MacBook Pros that are running Intel chips, that they see a big performance boost. So what I'm hoping for, this is going to help me edit that higher frame rate video and high resolution video much faster and efficiently. And also I do photography too. Now the old MacBook was still pretty good running Lightroom and editing photos, but I hope that I'll even see an increase in performance in that when I'm doing a lot of complicated edits and you're adding a lot of different components in something like Lightroom, or even like one of the Luminar products, which are pretty intensive too. So okay, we've kind of messed around a lot. We kind of set you up for why I bought this and kind of who needs it. If you're kind of like a video professional or photographer, or a little bit of photography and video taking, kind of got to do both these days. This may be the solution. I mean, I don't know. I will, you get like 30 days to return this. If I get it and it doesn't help my workflow at all, I could always return it, get something else. I could even get that faster M1X Pro. So anyhow, let's get this open here, see what we get in the box. Now, I got a lot of light going here, but you can see that great Apple packaging. They have like a nice little, see the arrow here, you just pull that right up to get started here. You don't need your box cutter out. So we'll pull that plastic down here. I heard that haven't got upgraded to the latest iPhone yet, but I heard the iPhone eliminated the the shrink wrap that you see in almost every product there is. Okay, so let's get this paper out of the way here. And okay, let's open this box up here. I think we're just air suction just holding it down now. All right, so we got the top off here, and that's very well made cardboard. I mean, it's really a solid piece of cardboard. You don't see this packaging in too much other stuff. I mean, DJI, they try their best to imitate Apple, but even they don't have it down this good yet. Okay, so here's the MacBook Pro, a 14-inch, and I ordered the silver, and it took a couple of weeks to come, and maybe if I ordered the space gray, which is the more common model, that would have came sooner. But I kind of like the silver one here. It kind of reminds me of some classic MacBooks of the past. You see, they have this all encased in this shrink wrap too. That has this pull tab to easily remove it. But let's see what comes in the box here first. Here now we have a charging cable here. You have even here the little pull tab to get it open here. And let's get all this out. Here's another little pull tab down here. More pull tabs here. All right, so we finally got that piece of cardboard. I thought we had that piece of cardboard removed. Okay, so here we go. Here's our charging cable, and now here's USB-C, which everybody loves. Let's see if I can get that in camera focus here. But look here, this is the really good news here: the return of MagSafe. Apple had a technology called MagSafe, where just magnetically, your power cord clipped onto the side of the MacBook Pro. And why this was, anything magnetic is kind of cool, but what made it functional was if somebody would walk by your cord, your plugged-in laptop cord, this would just pull out. It wouldn't yank your laptop off the table or desk across the floor and break. This would just yank right out. So this is, nice that this came back again. And let's see here, what else? What else do we have here? We have our little booklets here. It's going to be stickers in there, whatever. I'm not even going to open that up because never can get back in again. But you get your Apple stickers and a couple little booklets there. So and here's what you really want to see. Apple has started eliminating power bricks for a lot of the iPhones, some of the newer products, but you still get the kind of standard Apple power brick here. It's also encased in, it's got, I mean, not encased, just has a little plastic on the front here. No, I shouldn't be, I said it wrong. It is kind of encased in plastic. Alright. So there's kind of your standard power brick. It has this part that pops off here, and you could put an extender, cord on it, so you can extend it even longer. So that's been something I've had for quite a while. It's nice they keep that in the line here. And here's your USB connector over here. So now you're all ready to charge up. Let me see. I need a microscope here, but let me see if I can read some of these specs off to you here. It's a USB output, USB PD output, 20.3 volt, 3.3 amp, or 15 volt power. So if you're study power things or whatever, there's all your specs. I'm sure you can look it all up online. If I didn't say something or left something out here and missaid something, it's all online here. But all right, so hold on here. Cut. All right, so let's get this out of this piece of shrink wrap type of, not shrink wrap, but kind of almost like a gift style. All right. Put that to the side for right now. Okay, now here it is. Now this is much thicker than my previous MacBook Pro, which is really an elegant thin piece of hardware, really. But the only problem with that it was much more lightweight than this. It was 13.3 inch, but that had almost no ports on it. It had I think 2 USB-C style ports on the side, and I think a headphone jack. Or this, and you had the power by one of those USB-Cs. So you can see right here, that is our, what I told you about, our snap-on connector here, a MagSafe as I used to call it. And you see it just kind of magnetically pops on there. Sorry, hard to do it without blocking the camera here, but we do it from the underside here. Line it up. Pop it in, snaps in. So additionally, you get 2 USB-C ports there, and the headphone jack is still here. Apple eliminated the headphone jack on the iPhones years ago. And over here, we get looks like we get a HDMI port there, out, in, I don't know. There's another USB-C, and look at this, the card reader's back. The card reader has been gone for a lot of years now, but now it is back now. So that is very nice to have the little SD card reader back again after so many years of it being gone. But just holding this for a few minutes, it's much more substantial than my the 13.3 Pro that I just traded in. And I did mention they had a trade-in program. You can, when you go to purchase a new one, you can just you can ask if the trade-in, and then they'll ask you to put like the serial number and answer a couple questions about the working condition of your old model, and then they'll tell you what you're going to trade in. Mine was worth approximately $400, my old one. So that's good. Okay, so now we're going to open it up here. There's another piece of protective paper here. In fact, it's on there real good. And did you see the computer booted up? As soon as you open these Macs, they boot up. So there's our protective paper, which we'll put over here for right now. So it has enough energy to boot up. That's pretty good. And you can see that saying hello to me there in a Get Started window. And you see it's a backlit keyboard here, so you don't have to be, if you're in a dark coffee shop or something like that, you can still type away, which that's always a good thing. A nice generous sized trackpad here. If you see, they eliminated that touch bar that used to be across the older MacBook Pros, and went back to the function keys up top instead of the function, what did I just call that thing? That bar that had the I just said a minute ago, I forgot already. But that's gone. We're back to the function keys. Whether you like that old touch bar or not, decide what side of the coin you're on. As far as them eliminating that. So anyhow, another thing I really liked about this too is this has a bright enough screen to see HDR content. This is like a kind of a mini LED technology in the screen here, and it allows you to achieve enough brightness that you'll be able to edit HDR video on the screen here and be able to see what effect it makes, so you can watch and edit your HDR content on here, which is a good thing because some of the newer drones like the Air 2S has HLG in it, so you can actually film in HDR and edit it in post to create an HDR video, which HDR video is very popular on big screen TVs and everything nowadays. So this, and one of the things I'm most to say about it is seeing how good the screen looks on this over your standard Retina screen that you had in the last generation of MacBook Pros. So anyhow. So that's sort of it at this part of the video, the kind of the unboxing and going over the why did I get this and who's this video for. So we're gonna set it all up here now, and and then we'll return for another portion of the video. Talking to me. Okay, folks. I've got my MacBook Pro. All ready to go now. What I did is, I went through I walked you through kind of a tutorial at the beginning, and if you're already a current, Mac user or even an iOS user, iPhone, it will gather all your information from your other Apple devices, again, computer and iOS devices, and transfer them all over, and you can sign into iCloud. So if you store all your photos and music and documents in iCloud, they'll come right over. So it was a painless setup. It was almost no issues at all, really. And I did do a time machine backup from my old laptop before I erased and nuked all the information off of it. But I chose not to start this up. You could start this up either with a time machine backup or any type of backup really that you did before. But I chose to start up clean because I didn't want to bring over any files or programs or any older stuff from the older computer that I don't really use anymore. So if I need stuff, I'll just go out and get it. So I do like to start from scratch, especially it's been a while since I've upgraded. And one thing alone here, which I like, unfortunately I'm not logged in now, but the key over top here, it's like a plain black key. It was even blinking there a little bit. And you can see it's indented a little bit, but that is a thumbprint thing. So if you need to fill in a password, it'll fill in the password for you if that password, of course, is indeed saved in the Apple Keychain Password Manager. And also you can use it on kind of the wake up your computer. If your computer's been asleep too long and it's locked, you can unlock it with that. You can do various many unlocking and password solutions just by putting your fingerprint on. You trade it to your fingerprint just like you do your phone. You have to put it on maybe 10 to 20 times, move your finger around until it learns your fingerprint. And you can choose any finger you want, your thumb, just again, almost the same setup as the iPhone. So anyhow, I'm all ready to go. There's icons you see in the desk. That brought that over from my iCloud desktop that I had on my old computer. Those files and pictures up there. So that was pretty neat. Now this is a standard background here, a picture. I could change that. I probably will customize it eventually, but that's what it looks like coming out of the box. Because this, of course, is running. Let me get you the proper term here. This is Mac OS Monterey. Remember, all the operating systems are named after places in California now. This is version 12.0.1. So that's what we're running right now. We're current as of today, Saturday, December 18th. And one thing I did not mention in the unboxing portion of the video, I showed you this kind of a power adapter here, and I showed you that it had the MagSafe connector, made a big comeback. But this cable here, I don't know if you can see here, this isn't your typical just kind of plasticky covered cable, and I probably won't be able to focus it. This is like a braided cable, so this is much more what do you call it, tear proof, rip proof, than that all plastic cable. I know my wife, seems to rip that cable on every laptop she always has. This braided cable, it's going to be a lot more sturdy down the line here. So okay, that's about it on the the MacBook. I was thinking about doing a kind of a screen recording and showing all the setup process, but I have to put passwords and stuff like that and private information. So I would be like cutting parts out or putting black lines across more information. That would be most of the video with me trying to delete stuff out that would be private information. So I mean, if you've never owned a Mac before, setting up this kind of a tutorial program just walks you through everything you need to set up. I mean, it's kind of painless. I mean, you could have never owned a computer before in your life, and you could walk through this process pretty easily. So, I've only had, I haven't done anything. I talked about editing video and stuff when I haven't done any of that yet, but I'm getting ready to edit some video on it. So, when I do that, I'll come back with maybe a follow-up video. But I mean, just using programs like your web browser, and things like that, it seems to be, I hate to say much faster, but it does seem to be significantly faster. You can notice the speed difference. It's faster than the old computer at opening pages, browsing the web, emails, just routine tasks, folder management, all seem to go a little bit faster. So, sometimes you get a new computer, you don't really see any difference with the old computer, and you wonder, well, why did I even get this or whatever? But no, this one you do see a difference, especially if you're coming from this is almost 2022, and I had a late 2017, so I guess we would say like an over 4-year-old computer here that I was bumped up from. So definitely you can see the difference. So again, I know I'm not really a computer channel here. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because primarily like a drone channel. But sometimes, instead of keep buying more and more drones that maybe you need, maybe you don't need, I can't decide who needs, I can only decide what I need and don't need. But, maybe for not buying like one, say you're on the fence about buying the Mavic 3, because it's too much money. But, so maybe you just get something like an up-to-date laptop with a really fast chip in it and memory and everything, so you can go ahead and edit your high frame rate video, your 60 frames per second, your 120 frames per second, your 4K, your 4K 60, your 5K resolutions, 5.1K, 5.4K, the Evo 2 says it's 6K, but it's really only 5 point some K, whatever. But anyhow, this would be a good investment for you to be able to, again, max out the video resolution on your current drones or even, action cameras like, the Hero 10, filming in 5 point something K and real high frame rates. Anyhow, just a food for thought there. Maybe sometimes don't get the drone, but upgrade the thing you need to get the most out of that drone by being able to process the video properly, without going through a whole bunch of proxy files. And because again, if you get bogged down in the editing process where it takes you a lot of time, you would tend eventually to just not do it or not get into it because it takes too long. But something like an up-to-date laptop that can eat through that 5K video, like a hot knife through butter, would make you maybe jump in there and get a little bit more editing done. So, okay, I am going to sign out here, and like I said, we're going to, we'll revisit this in a little while when I put it through its paces on as far as a video editor and photo editor also. So thanks for stopping by the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. Subscribe for more content. Maybe not a whole lot more Apple computer content, but drone content, GoPro Hero content, action camera content, Insta360 content, RC cars. I do it all over here. So, and ring the notification bell, and we will see you on the next video.